Marcus Aurelius once said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." Think about that. If your soul takes on the color of your thoughts, then so does hers. So the real question isn't, how do I get her attention? It's, how do I become the kind of man who lives rent-free in her mind without even trying? This isn't about tricks or texting hacks. This is about presence, vibe, stillness with gravity. When you master the principles of self-control and personal depth, when you truly know how to command yourself, you naturally command attention without chasing it. If you're tired of being forgettable, if you want her to lay in bed at night, wondering where you are and what you're thinking, then keep listening. Because by the end of this, you won't just understand attraction, you'll understand how to live in her thoughts without lifting a finger. First, leave her with questions, not explanations. Here's something straight from the psychology books. What the mind can't complete, it repeats. If you want her thinking about you constantly, don't give her everything. Give her just enough. Mystery isn't manipulation, it's mastery. Most men get this wrong. They overshare, overtext, over-explain. They think, if she knows everything about me, she'll stay interested. But that's how you become predictable. And predictable is forgettable. The mind becomes addicted to loops that don't close, and that's where you become unforgettable. Say less, do more. Show up with presence, but keep part of yourself tucked away. Be the guy with a deeper story, a strange silence, a subtle pause. Make her play back that last interaction like a movie scene. Not because you're vague, but because you're intentional. Leave gaps in the conversation, not from coldness, but from depth. Let her feel that there's more behind your eyes than what you say. The moment she asks herself, "What did he mean by that look?" or "Why did he pause right there?" she's already replaying you in her head. That's not just memory. That's impact, that's the echo. And Stoicism doesn't shout, it echoes. Second, craft an aura of purpose. There's nothing more attractive than a man who's living for something bigger than attention. You want to be unforgettable? Have a mission. And here's the truth. She doesn't want to be the center of your world. She wants to orbit a man who already has a world of his own. Purpose is magnetic. It's primal. It tells her you're not waiting for someone to complete you. You're already whole. A man with purpose doesn't text back just to fill the silence. He doesn't shift his schedule just to be available. He doesn't need to explain himself constantly. He moves differently, with intention, with direction. And she notices. She starts to wonder why you're not chasing like the others. She starts to lean in, not because you're playing games, but because you're too focused to play at all. A man on a mission doesn't beg for attention. He attracts it. And here's the Stoic twist. Your purpose isn't about impressing the world. It's about mastering yourself, quietly, daily, relentlessly. Read, train, build, create. Don't just exist, become. And the paradox? The more you live for something greater than her, the more she wants to be part of your journey. So don't. Tell her your goals. Let her watch you chase them. Let her feel the fire in your focus, because once she sees that, she'll crave the warmth of being near it. Master emotional control, because her mind is drawn to what it can't shake. Have you ever noticed how women tend to obsess over the man who barely says anything, but walks like he knows something the world doesn't? That's emotional control. That's what Stoicism teaches, and that's how you become unforgettable. Here's the brutal truth. Women don't think non-stop about the guy who overshares and pours his emotions out like a flood. They think about the man who can hold his silence like a blade, the one who doesn't flinch when she tests him, the one who doesn't fold when she pulls back. It's not about being emotionless, it's about being composed. See, the average guy thinks reacting quickly shows he cares, but what it actually reveals is a lack of self-command. A Stoic doesn't chase. He observes. He pauses before he speaks. He listens without needing to defend or prove anything. That pause, That stillness, that quiet confidence, that's what makes her think what's going on in his mind. And the moment she asks that question, she's already thinking about you more than she intended to. You want to live in her mind? Stop giving her everything too soon. Let her lean into your silence. Let her earn your energy. Emotional control doesn't mean being cold. It means being the anchor in her storm. And when she feels both shaken and safe around you, she, won't forget it, create contrast. Be the calm in her chaos. Here's something very few men understand, but those who do, they don't just get attention, they get remembered. Women don't crave calm because they already have it. They crave calm because they're surrounded by noise, notifications, expectations, pressure to be everything at once, strong but soft, independent but available. She lives in a constant emotional loop, and you're the one place where all of that fades. That's your power. When she's with you, she shouldn't feel the need to perform, to impress, or to overshare. She should feel a stillness she can't explain, the kind that makes her breathe easier without knowing why. You don't react to drama. You don't interrupt her storms. You hold space. You remain grounded. That's not passive. It's intentional. You're steady. You listen when it matters. You smile without force. And when she pushes your buttons, you don't flinch. You give her what no one else gives her, peace. And here's the paradox. Once she experiences that peace, she becomes addicted to it. She starts to crave the way she feels around you, calm, safe, seen. You're not like the men before who argued, exploded, or begged for attention. You're the rare man who knows himself. And because of that, you become the one she thinks about long after you've walked away. Withdraw strategically. Let her miss the silence. Most men don't know when to leave. They overstay, they chase. They think being constantly available will keep them relevant in her mind. But desire doesn't grow from closeness. It grows in absence. It sharpens in distance. So here's the move. Step away while the energy is still good. Not as a test, not as punishment, but as self-discipline. You don't double text. You don't hover. You don't beg for her attention. You let your presence speak and your absence echo. Because if your presence was full, intentional and grounded, then your silence will say more than your words ever could. And here's what most men miss. The brain doesn't remember details. It remembers emotions. And if she felt mystery, depth, calm, and subtle tension around you, that's what her mind replays. That's what makes her scroll through your old messages. That's what makes her check your story and never tap like. That's what makes her wonder if you're wondering about her. And even if she says nothing, even if she hides it well, you're already under her skin. A man who knows how to withdraw is a man who controls the rhythm. You're not gone, you're focused, you're not ignoring her, you're just not performing, and the space you leave behind, it becomes a mirror. It's where she starts to realize what your presence truly meant, and that's when she thinks about you the most. Let's go back to Marcus Aurelius. The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. When a woman can't stop thinking about you, it's not because of what you said, it's because of who you were. You were the stillness she never saw coming, the mystery she couldn't figure out, the peace she didn't know she needed, the purpose she couldn't distract. And now you live in her mind like a haunting melody, not loud, but impossible to ignore. So before you chase that next message or try another pickup line, ask yourself this: are you becoming the kind of man who leaves an echo? Are you becoming the kind of man who dyes her thoughts just by being who he is? If this resonated with you, if you're on the journey of becoming unshakable, comment the word unwritten below, because your story is still being written and you're holding the pen now. And if you want more on mastering women by mastering yourself, subscribe to the Stoicism, not for tricks, for transformation. Until next time, stay grounded, stay silent, and let your presence speak louder than words ever could.